This is Nick Dawson, the editor-in-chief of Talkhouse Film, and you're listening to the Talkhouse Film podcast. The conversation you're about to hear is unlike anything we've ever had on the Talkhouse Film podcast, so let me give you a quick setup. Tim Heidecker, comedian, actor, musician, and most famously, half of one of comedy's most innovative double acts, Tim and Eric, was in New York City to promote his excellent new record, In Glendale, his first non-funny album. New York comedy stalwart Chris Gethard, host of the gloriously freewheeling Chris Gethard Show, and someone who has carved a similarly idiosyncratic path to success, was also in town. And so we put them together in the studio at Samsung 837, where the Talkhouse has a weekly live podcast residency. Lots of fans came to watch them talk, some Gethard geeks, others Heidecker heads. Whenever two people sit down for a Talkhouse podcast, we let them know that it's up to them how they use their time. In this case, we might have predicted that Tim and Chris would have a conversation that touched on their unusual career trajectories, idols and nemesis in the comedy world, and obsessive fans. But the rest? That was totally unexpected. Although, as these are two performers who have, as Gethard puts it, chaotic reputations, you really should have seen this coming. The turning point definitely came when a doppelganger of Tim's mum turned up and, well, just listen. It's great.
So, Chris.
Yes, how are you, Tim?
Good. We're not friends.
No.
We've met.
We have. I think it was at San Francisco Sketch Fest.
San Francisco Sketch Fest.
And you were very kind, and it meant a lot.
Oh.
You were very nice.
Thank you. I try to be gracious and respectful of other comics other artists.
Isn't it sad that kind of stands out, though? Because at a festival, at one of these, everybody go to the same hotel.
Yeah.
It feels like nobody's looking to actually, have an actual warm interaction. Everybody's just looking over each other's shoulders all the time. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah. Well, there is that tradition of, in the stand-up comedy world, of it being a little intimidating to be around guys that you might have grown up admiring.
Yeah.
And they can be kind of rough.
Yeah.
And sort of, you got to be careful what you say. You feel, so I try to keep that in mind when somebody likes my work or something.
Yeah.
Or,
I remember you were nice to the point where I told friends of mine, oh, I met Tim, and Tim was nice.
Oh, that's huge news.
He was a nice person, yeah.
That's huge news. I was talking about this the other day with a friend of mine who we were saying when we first came to LA, there were a lot of these guys that were in the earlier generation of LA comedy, and it could be rough. It could be scary around those people. Yeah. And I always felt I was on edge and my shoulders were up like this.
Me too.
Don't say something stupid.
Do you romanticize the prior gen? I fall into that sometimes where I'll meet people who were from those prior generations, and I know all these stories and legendary shows they were part of, and they're just no, we could also just talk like people. Yeah.
I remember getting up, I went to go to an M-Bar show, and it was, I'm going to blank on the name right now. He's got glasses, and he was on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Proops, Greg Proops.
Greg Proops.
Yeah.
And I was very new, and I got up to go to the bathroom, and he must have done 3 minutes on how rude that was that I went got to the bathroom.
No.
And I swore that he was my enemy now. That guy, I'll never forget how he embarrassed me.
Are you still
I wouldn't work with him.
Really?
No, I'd steer clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
So where are you at? I was telling you this earlier that I'm a little ignorant about your story.
That's fair. Most people are.
But I'm a genuinely curious guy.
Yeah.
And you're obviously you're being successful with exactly what you want to do, would you say?
Well,
or is it a struggle?
I'm not trying to be self-deprecating.
Would you call your autobiography My Struggle?
I think I could successfully call it that. I would say that the two parts of your sentence are I'm successful doing exactly what I want to do, and I would say I'm doing exactly what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I feel successful yet, though it's one of those things where when I take a step back and I look at where I was at 5 years ago, I am aware that momentum has built.
There's growth.
But people will sometimes refer to me as successful, whereas I'm I don't know if I'll have health insurance next year.
So you'd want the show to keep going for a while.
I would love it, yeah.
You still feel energized by it.
I do. And a lot of that is, I think, the people, some of the people who have been doing it with me have been doing it in one form or the other since 2009. and they've just been like the most supportive, loyal friends.
Right.
And the large majority of people who work on it, production and cast, are people who were like there every Wednesday night on public access TV.
Right.
And I just think it's cool. I just like getting off an elevator in a real building into a real office and looking around and being like, no, this is like 30 of these people are people who were just like hanging out at the public access station. Now we all have jobs together.
Right.
Like the part of me that will always have a chip on my shoulder, like just feels like that is a thing that was like worth fighting for.
Right.
So I don't want to walk away from it.
Like, so if you got cast in a sitcom or something and was like, well, I'm going to go do this for the next 5 years.
Yeah. It would be a bummer.
It would be a bummer.
I've skipped pilot season the last 5 or 6 years, which that's like one of my great things that I'm excited about because I find it so stressful.
And you were on a show. Am I?
Well, that was the whole
whole
thing.
other
Was like
thing. You tasted that experience.
I did that, and that's like the whole like romanticized story behind my show is like I came up at UCB in New York, started there in 2000. So I was just like around. There's that whole there's just been waves of people that came out of UCB, and I was there. Not from the very beginning, but first few years before anybody. I remember like when it was like, oh, that person is in a commercial, and everybody would be like, oh my God. And now like when Andy Daly got Mad TV, I remember they shut down the theater and threw a party.
Wow.
And it was like, if UCB threw a party every time somebody got a job now, it would just be like an event. It would just be a party space. Like it's a success factory.
Although there must still be a tremendous amount of people that go through that system that don't.
1,000%. Most of the people who show up there, it's not like you just show up and then all of a sudden it gets stamped off. And I was evidence of that. Like for years, it was like all, the people who came up above me moved on. And then the people who came up with me moved on. And then it was like, you're going to be the next guy. You're going to be the next guy.
Right.
And then like students I taught in improv classes started to move on. And it was like, you're going to be the next guy.
Right.
And then I got this sitcom job in 2010.
With Funny or Die?
With Adam and Will produced it on Comedy Central, and it just like bombed. And that's the thing I feel bad about is I always feel like that part of the story gets romanticized because it's like it wasn't a thing I hated. Like it was a good job.
Yeah, you tried. Everyone worked their hardest.
And I mean I did take it on the chin in the press.
Right.
But it wasn't a great show.
Right.
Somebody needs to get
blamed. And can you even make that kind of show anymore? Like, do you think it's possible to make that kind? I remember seeing a little bit of it, and it was like a sitcom, right?
It was the traditional sitcom.
And it was a traditional sitcom where you're like, well, what if we just spent more time trying to make it funny? Which I would assume most sitcoms don't spend that time to do.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, we love the old sitcoms that actually were funny.
Yeah.
Let's put our energy into good, funny jokes that are not safe, that are like dangerous.
All in the family and whatnot.
But there's still the structure, the way those shows look that might feel like that you can't fuck with that.
Yeah.
No, but you can't mess around with that format and be successful.
No.
Because like Louis tried that with that first show, Lucky Louie.
And this similarly kind of tried to split the difference between like traditional and experimental, and didn't go well, and that was fine. And I actually handled it well, but I kind of walked away feeling like, man, like I was like chasing this thing, and that I don't like sitcoms. I don't watch them.
Right.
So why am I trying to chase them? And like it feels kind of like.
Had you been doing that talk show before that?
We did it once a month at UCB,
okay.
And it was like this, like in the New York comedy scene, it was like you couldn't get it. Like they'd put the tickets on sale and they'd just go like 10 minutes later, and it was like this really beloved thing. And then walked away from the sitcom, and I was like, I didn't love that. Like it didn't bum me out that much that it went away. But meanwhile, I have this thing I really love. Like why aren't I putting all my energy into that? And that's how we wound up on public access.
When Eric and I came into this business, we were very much like, we're going to do this our way.
That's awesome.
We don't want to work with we don't want the man telling us what to do,
Yeah.
That was always the most important thing. So we came out really probably very hot and kind of angry, like,
yeah, same here.
And just like, you're going to interview me, I'm going to make you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because that's amusing to me.
Yeah.
And we try to do it in an amusing way, and not in a hurtful way, but just make the whole thing, the whole experience of putting out a show, like beyond the confines of the walls of the show, so that we live it, we sweat it, and talk, behave like idiots in interviews. And
Yeah.
So that got us kind of a reputation as being like...
You poke holes in like the artifice surrounding all of it.
Right.
And how long, like, because
But now I'm old and like tired, and so now I can do these kind of things, and I just can't put up and fans are there's like that was a boring interview.
Right. You're just like behaving like a rational human being who
I gave up.
Reacts to things.
Yeah, I did enough of that crap.
I get that. But how long, like, because I first became aware of you guys on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
How long, because I'm very, like, I felt like I was on public access and our show was gaining all this traction and getting press and hype. And then every network, like, I remember, like, the head of one of the, I think I can say it at this point, like, one of the heads of development from Fox, like a big network, came to our show and afterwards talked to me and was like, this show is amazing. And in my head, I was like, oh my God.
This is it.
And then this person was like, I could never pick it up because I definitely have to ruin it. Like, I would just ruin everything that's cool about your show. And I just want to, and I actually really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Because I also had a lot of meetings along the way from people that were like, we love it. We love your show. Is there any way that you can make it all about food reviews? And it's like, what? It's a different thing. You don't love our show.
Or can you just make sure if like Gerald Butler is promoting a movie that you make time and talk about the movie?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Who cares?
And the even more offensive, like, we love it. We love your show. How would you feel about firing all your friends who do it with you and replacing them with like a cast of like attractive 20-something model types to co-host? And it was like, what? God. I mean, that was said to me outright.
For real?
Oh yeah.
I don't believe you.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
You can't buy.
Totally
you can't buy that a network executive
I
would say something shallow about.
No, these people are salt of the earth. These are my closest friends. It's so weird. There's a doppelganger of my mom over there, and it's freaking me out. Yeah.
Which one? Because
the woman in the orange over there, the blonde that I can see, she's on the railing. You see there?
Maybe because we should explain for anyone who's just listening. We are in a weird glass booth.
Yeah, we're in a glass booth,
and there's an audience watching this, but they're outside the glass booth watching this on a screen.
Can we get an applause break from that crowd down there?
Okay, so they are still engaged in listening.
And we apologize for how boring this must be.
It must have been so expensive for them to set up a system that broadcasts from here to like.
And also, wouldn't this sound better with like some laughs and stuff? Like, wouldn't this be a little less?
Are you proposing some sort of revolution where we bring all those people from down
I think they
there
should
into up here?
I don't know. We don't know what that's going to smell like.
Wow. Okay. Smell.
Look at she looks like it's like. Oh, now
can
she
we
doesn't.
at least
she
have
just
the woman who looks like your mom? Can she approach the glass booth?
Can you come in?
Oh, in the booth.
She's starting to not look like my mom at all.
I was going to say at least on the outside of the glass booth.
I don't know. While she's coming over here, I'll finish my thought, which I still have.
Ashton, she's getting closer now. Does she look like your mom?
Not at all. Do you look like my mother? Get out of here.
Wow.
You fraud.
No one looks like my
She can
mom.
come in though. Let's interview her.
I would love that.
Let me finish
I love
my
our
thought.
conversation, but this don't you feel like this type of thing of like dragging random people in?
Yeah.
Grandmom, that's what I'm.
No, that's so very.
Well, it was nice of you to point me out. I needed the attention. So.
What is your name?
Myrna.
Myrna. I love that name.
Now you know how old
Are you a New Yorker?
Oh yeah.
I love it. Come on in. Get on mic.
Do you want to come in?
No, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
See, she's smart. She
That's
knows not
totally
to get
fair.
roped in.
That's totally fair.
All right. Thank you, Myrna.
Thank you, Myrna. But don't you feel like when, like, for people who have heard that you and I are doing a thing together, because we both, I think, have chaotic reputations.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for us to just drag someone named
And
Myrna
it's so
in
easy
on it,
to
right?
do. It's so easy to make that call, but I think most people are afraid to do that, or they're more centered around their own self-interest or something.
The ego. You can't have the ego.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really loved about my time on public access was like you couldn't have ego because it was like pathetic in a lot of like the lights wouldn't turn. There was one time where we showed up and the guy who worked there was like, "Hey, so we have a situation."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, what is it this time?" And he's like, "We know the microphones are here because we can hear them on the soundboard. They're on and they're somewhere in the building, but they've been lost." So we just had to like.
They were plugged in?
They were like lav mics, so they were broadcasting.
Oh my God!
But someone had just left them laying somewhere, and no one could find. It's like that type of stuff. That'll
Isn't
shake
that the
ego
best
out.
TV? Isn't that the best TV though? Like when I was a kid,
Yeah,
you know,
what were
when
the
like
things-
Elvis Costello would change up the song
the
live, or
best.
when Albert Brooks was on Letterman, or when Andy Kaufman, of course.
Are you? I would imagine Kaufman guy.
Yeah, of course.
Obsessive.
Yeah, and I did this panel a while ago about Andy Kaufman, and I was being a little bit controversial because I was like, if he would have lived, let's say if he would have lived that shtick would have gotten old, and he would have probably abandoned.
He would.
It
Well,
would have gotten really sad
it
after a
would
while.
have.
Maybe.
But don't you feel like he would have abandoned it like
in the right way?
18 months before it got old, much to
Maybe
the
he would have
chagrin
been-
of everyone who's
hopefully-
making money off of him, and then he
Yes.
would have gone on to this other cool
Yeah,
thing that
people
no
would
one
have
liked.
caught up. People would have caught up to it. And go, I know what you're doing, and then he would have
He
turned,
would have
taken
been
a
long
left turn.
gone. Yeah. If anybody else wants to come up to the glass and make funny faces,
I would think the bravest man down there or woman should
Yeah.
come up and join us on mic.
I would love that.
First
If there's-
person,
if
but
there's
don't
any-
all rush. Someone stand up now. Stand up.
claim it. If there's someone, I would
come
say
on up.
everyone who's already standing.
Oh, there he is.
should-
And I was
if
gonna
anybody's already-
guess that he had a beard, and he did. Oh,
There's
he
like
wins.
9. No, there's like 9
All right,
people.
come on in.
Oh no, are those people just leaving?
Come on in.
Yeah, come in, dude. A dude
No,
with
they're
a
not
hat.
leaving. They all wanted to go. He's got
Yeah.
a khaki
I would
hat.
say anybody who stood up should come in. If that's, hi, how are you? What's your name? Dominic.
Dominic, get on mic as soon as you can because it's going to be
Yeah.
a bummer.
Pounds. You don't like a handshake.
No, I do handshake, but
This is a
guy's
stranger. This is a
starting to get
complete
sweaty.
stranger. Yeah.
Hey,
How are you, Dominic?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Dominic, how are you? Detect a slight accent or my?
I'm English. Yeah.
You're
Uh-oh.
English. What part?
Yorkshire,
Okay.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
just visiting? Or are you studying here?
visiting 4
That's
days.
cool.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with our work?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to lie about me. You're
Yeah.
probably
Not so much you.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's what I wanted to hear.
That's fair. It's totally fine. I get that a lot.
But you have you have a massive following.
I have a cult. I
You
have a
a cult.
small,
You're a cult guy.
big time. Yeah, like they.
Could you take it in a negative direction? Could you get these people to do bad things?
100%.
Really?
I've actually had people talk to me and say you have to be very careful. I think there
Yeah.
are people who would kill if I asked them to. Yeah, but you have that too.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel. I feel yes. They're there. They're
Yeah.
supportive.
We did-
But we've made so much stuff that now there's so many. We've made so much stuff now. There's so many fans that are like, "Hey, I hated that thing you did."
Yeah, in 2007. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wish you'd go back to doing that thing that I loved about you once.
Yeah.
You know. So there's that experience.
What do we need to know about you, Dominic?
I don't know really. Like, I'm just a guy from England, and
And you're coming over to
Wasn't-
New York. You're
Yeah.
seeing the sights. Did you see the Statue of Liberty?
no,
It's the best.
from far from the train.
Yeah.
Should I?
It's
You
the
can if
best.
you want. What types of
best.
things have you been doing?
Walking around
Yeah.
mostly.
Was that the plan?
I think
Can't you do
so.
that in Yorkshire?
You can, but just soaking up the
Go
NY
for a
vibe.
walk.
So you're not doing any
You
of the
go for a
touristy.
walk.
You're not doing for any of the touristy stuff.
We went to the MoMA.
Oh, that's
MoMA.
good.
The
You
That's
went
pretty
to the
good.
MoMA.
Yeah.
I saw some paintings at the MoMA.
Now I do have 2 Morrissey tattoos.
Sick.
Oh yeah.
How's he regarded in England these days?
He's gonna be mayor.
He's kind of like,
A lot of people don't like him.
because yeah, he says outlandish
Watch
things.
this. Keep your mouth on the
Yeah.
mic.
He has like, I think he's like Marmite. Like, people love him or hate him.
I want more people to join us. I
I
don't
know,
want
that's enough
Dominic
of
to
you.
leave.
Thank
No,
you.
I don't even want
Oh, you
Dominic
don't
to
leave.
leave.
Okay,
I
let's
think
bring
we
in
should pile on. Does anyone
Let's
else
bring
want to?
the other gentleman.
A very tall guy.
There
just-
he is. He looks
every-
like
everybody.
he
Yeah.
looks like Drogo. What's
Oh,
that guy
Khal
from
Drogo.
Khal Drogo
from
the
Game of Thrones. I like
is
the
here.
Game of Thrones.
I love the Game of
How
Thrones.
we got bored of talking to each other about career stuff that quickly.
It is so bland.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Daniel.
Daniel. You have is that a Jurassic Park parody shirt?
Yeah, it's the aliens. I didn't want to wear a Star Wars one because he's been calling people out for wearing Star Wars shirts.
I really don't like the guys these people that wear Star Wars shirts.
Yeah.
That's
I'm a
gotta
Star
be
Wars guy.
You are?
Do you know any of my work?
Yeah, I've seen.
Be honest. You can be honest.
I've seen the. I know a little bit, but I thought your name was Gethard. I was
See,
like, oh, that's a fun
I like
name.
that there's a running trend of people joining us who have never.
It's a great exposure for you.
I love it. We have another guy. Hi, how are you?
Gethard fan.
Oh, hey,
Oh, that'll
thank you
even
so
it
much.
out.
Good to see you. Yeah.
And so, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm from North Dakota. I'm one of those annoying people that come here for acting, and then they're just like, oh, they don't do a lot of acting. They just, audition and work.
Yeah.
at other
Are you
jobs for
temping?
that. No, I'm not.
Waiting?
Maitre d'.
Maitre
Maitre
d'.
d',
Yeah.
classy.
I don't know if I'd go into a fancy restaurant and see a guy with that long hair and beard. I'd
Well,
go
I put it
right
in a
out
man
the other
bun.
way.
I put it in a man bun, and I have like a 3-piece.
Do you do the
Oh,
you do the
man
bun?
No, I do it up here.
Okay.
It looks
Yeah,
kind of like a
I'd
samurai
stick with
thing.
that. What kind of food?
It's contemporary Italian.
Ooh.
I like the
Like that.
rustic Italian better.
Yeah, that's good.
I go Italian on it. How are you? How you been?
Man, pretty good. Pretty
You
good.
know this guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know all the you know your fans.
Yeah, you participated in one of our test shows famously, and I really enjoyed it.
I did. Thank you. Yeah, that was really good. Like what I ended up doing was I like talked about my virginity.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Which
wasn't
is-
sure if you wanted it stated outright, so I was trying to
He
protect you
seems
in
pretty
case you.
pretty open to it.
I wanted to say it. Yeah.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Yeah.
The
That-
virginity.
Virginia?
Yeah.
I have since lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? I hope, was it to another Gethard Show fan?
No, it was not. No.
I was hoping someone was there that night.
You're trying
so
to make the next generation.
I would really
Are
love
they a
it.
Gethard Show fan now?
Yeah, trying
They've
to.
slept with you?
I think she's watched it. I definitely tried to get her to watch it.
Yeah.
Has Chris's
No,
show disappointed you yet, or are
I'm
you still
sure
on
so
board?
many
Well-
times. You can be honest.
Some of the first season on Fusion, the amount of like cutting was like, ooh,
I didn't
we could
say
be
it.
better. You
I didn't say it.
What do
I
you mean the
didn't
amount
say
of
it.
cutting? Like
Yeah.
the cutting out of stuff, or the way it was
Edits.
cut?
There was definitely
Edits.
an appeal of the public access show. It was like, ooh, this is raw thing.
Yeah.
But in the second season, like, there's some episodes that are just great.
Yeah, I think we got it back. All jokes aside, just asking someone who's been a long time supporter of the show. Season 2, I think we got it back.
I love it. I really like it.
Are you
Thanks.
and familiar with my work?
Yes, yeah.
Not fan though. No.
No, maybe not a fan.
Yeah.
I definitely have like plenty of friends that are like,
You're like, this is not for me.
I
Have I
think-
ever made you smile?
oh, you've made me smile.
But
a
you
few
think there's
times.
something off, or you're just like, I don't like these guys. I don't like them. Tell me. Straight. I want to meet these people. In fact, I wanted to do this podcast where I talk to I find the trolls who are like the
Oh.
angriest.
Yeah.
Like, F these guys. I hope they
Yeah.
die. And I want to just talk to them.
I
'Cause
had
wanna-
one of those guys come
You
on my
did?
show last
I'm
year.
sure. Yeah, that's a
and
good
he wound
idea.
up being a real nice kid.
Yeah, yeah.
He
And
just he had his own problems, and there was a lot of rage in him.
Yeah. There's this one guy I talked to who is just like, it's not funny.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts that it's on TV.
I saw someone leave a comment on one of our show's videos today that said I should be put in a gas chamber.
Oh my God.
Which is like, it's okay if you don't like my comedy, but
Yeah.
there's a middle ground
Punishment
between
of
that.
death.
There's a middle ground between that and
Do you
a
mean
gruesome
like
death.
laughing gas? Like,
No, I don't think he meant that at all.
I think you and my mom would get along because she's such a she's very lovely and supportive, and I love her very much. But she watches some of my shows with like okay,
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
but whatever.
I get that though. My mom's also like a very sweet woman, so I
Yeah.
think that's something that happens.
North Dakota, you miss it?
I miss driving. I miss having a yard.
Yeah.
You should come out to LA. It's the best.
They got
Drive.
speed limits in North Dakota?
They do. It's about 75, but in Montana they don't.
Are you Fargo?
Grand Forks, just an hour north of there.
Fair
Grand
enough.
Forks.
So
I've been to Fargo.
Yeah, I was here, unfortunately. I've been here.
Oh yeah, I did a show there.
When you
It's
were
a
there and I
scary
was-
place.
It's not too bad. It's like It's like number one in binge drinking.
Yeah,
like,
that's
per
what I mean.
capita.
Like you see people
They go hard.
wasted, like falling down in the middle
And
of the street.
you're a Pennsylvania. Like those cities in Pennsylvania are known for people going hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of drinking warm beer in the woods.
And North Dakota concerned you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was not. I mean, big like guys that look like linebackers
Yeah.
from the
it
NFL.
was probably the
Like-
NDSU Bison walking by.
They're just falling down in the middle of the street.
Does anyone else want to come inside from the
I was
outside?
at
Speed run.
I don't
at Busch
believe in these
Gardens.
arbitrary
a
divisions.
woman. We have to switch it up.
A
We've
lady?
had nothing but men.
Miss,
Let's bring in a woman.
Were you,
Should
was
I give her
she?
the seat?
Hello, hi, how are you?
And
What's your name?
you're done.
What's that? Chandler, nice to meet you.
Chandler,
are
you can sit here.
Well, are you more of Tim's fan or my fan? You can be honest. No one will be offended. It's totally fine.
She's thinking
I'm
about
a
it, so
fan
it's
of,
good.
I'm a fan of both of you. I'm familiar with both of your works. I'm a little more of a Tim fan just because I have longer.
No, I get
High
it.
five.
That's the way
I've been
that's the way the ball
exposed to it
bounces
for
for me.
longer.
Yeah.
What's your music tastes?
Ooh. Recently I listened to a lot of music that sounds like a Japanese dance robot.
Sure.
singing it.
Yeah.
Japanese
Okay.
dance robot. So Japanese space.
Speaking of
robots.
music, we're here to promote my new record in
Oh,
Glendale.
yes, of
I hope
course.
you support
Great.
that.
I saw your record, your
Oh, you
your
did?
acoustic set
That was pretty
yesterday.
fun.
I
Yeah, that
listened
was
to it. They sent me a copy. I really liked it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
maybe
great.
not what you were expecting. I don't know.
No, it was good.
We'll see how it does. It could be the number one record in the country for all we know.
I would
You
love
never
that.
know. But it probably won't
Someone
sell
said
more
it's
than
gonna-
400 albums.
Someone said it's going to dilute your brand, though. Do you think that's the case?
What do you think? Does it affect the way you see me and my comedy and my work? Does it affect it negatively?
Personally, I think it affects it positively because
Yeah.
I do art, and it's like cool to see artists of all mediums. Like we do a lot of things. We're not just limited to this one area.
It's
so
inspiring
I
to
really,
you.
Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Well, this
I
has
like
been
that
very
you told
positive.
her. You told her. No,
told her what to
no
think.
question mark at the end of that.
It's inspiring.
It's inspiring to you. Not it's inspiring to you.
Right.
It
No, there's a certain amount of tactlessness that I have in these kind of situations.
Sure.
So are you in college now?
No,
Are you
I
trained?
graduated.
Yes. Are you working in the field?
For money, I walk dogs.
Beautiful.
You know.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of comedians in the city. It seems like dog walking has become comedy's day job.
Yes.
I know many a comedian that walks dogs.
Me
Are you part of
too.
that circuit? There's a whole circuit of people in business together. You
I
don't need to name names if you're feeling awkward.
Do you walk any famous dogs?
I don't know if they're famous.
I do
Famous
know. I
person?
know a
Famous to
couple
me.
comedians who used to walk an extremely famous comedian's dog.
Really?
Yeah, and not far from this neighborhood. He was a legit comedy movie star.
And living in New York. Let's
Living
see if
in
we
New
can 20
York.
questions
Friend
this.
of mine walked his dog.
Okay, it's downtown. Is it Louis C.K.'s dog?
No.
I don't know. I'm not gonna. It's gonna be too boring for me to run through my
Just
list
guess
of
the names of 20 celebrities in a row.
that might be living. It's not Woody Allen.
Nope. That's
Woody
two.
Allen. It's not. It's this is a. Everyone knows this person.
Yeah.
Huge.
Oh yeah.
Huge.
Oh yeah.
And he's in it. He lives in New York.
At least has a place here with a dog in it.
Big Beard. Big Beard the comic.
No, it wasn't
don't-
Big Beard.
Was it Seinfeld?
Was not Seinfeld. No.
You have to tell us now.
What if I? What would happen if I didn't? Would people be mad at me
Can I
forever?
get a clue?
People start
Clue.
turning this off.
Let's see.
Yeah, give us a clue. Can we? How about a guess from the audience?
Oh, audience guesses. Does anybody in the audience want to come up and guess?
Swap out.
Just want to say as I leave,
I'm sure
that
we've met before.
Go
I
ahead,
apologize.
plug. Make a
That's
plug.
all right.
well, plug. I had a mild fantasy that this would happen and it would somehow end up
Mild
this.
fantasy.
mild.
Yeah.
I wasn't dreaming about it,
Well,
but
you're
I'm like,
living a fantasy right now.
yeah, it's a little bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're all just people on this silly little planet, and we can appreciate each other's company as long as we're respectful towards each other.
Ooh,
It's beautiful.
like it.
Okay. And we've met. Have we met? We have met.
Very briefly.
We've crossed paths.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
helped my friend do a bit on a show once that you were on at Elvis Guest House.
Yes, that was a
Yes.
crazy show.
Yes.
It makes sense
I was
that
dressed like
it
a
would be hard to
sex
place.
demon.
Yes.
Chris, do you think you have very open, tolerant tastes in comedy, or are you very like specific and are hard to please?
I think I'm pretty open. I think what I appreciate most is a sense of like honesty on some level.
Right.
So as long as it has that, I'm down. And that could be someone telling honest stories, but also like I feel like your guys' work is very absurd, but I remember responding to it very well when I first came upon it because it was very clear that it came from your guts.
Genuine.
Yeah, it had integrity to it. So I feel like as long as it's got some honesty, some integrity to it, I have an open mind. But I do think I'm pretty quick to call BS on
Yes.
stuff that I think,
I'm the same way.
stuff that doesn't have that, and especially stuff that I think is faking that.
Yes. And there's a lot of that.
And
It's
an
most of it.
endless amount. That makes
Yeah.
me not want to participate in the comedy industry at large.
And I was going to follow up with that question. Do you feel part of the comedy community, even though you're a UCB grad and you're part of that world, which I'm not a part of at all?
Yeah.
I don't connect with that.
I do feel part of the community, especially in New York, but I don't quite know how I'm regarded. Like, I think some people maybe look at me as someone who's been around a very long time
Right.
and has done things the right way. I get the sense some people don't like me. Like, I just had a show where a girl came up to me after the show and was talking to me at my show, my TV show, the Chris Gethard show, in the audience, and I was chit-chatting with her, and she's like, "Oh, it's cool you're talking to me this long." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." And she's like, "I'm surprised." And I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "Well, I had heard you were like a real big asshole."
Yeah, I get that all the time.
And I was like, "Oh, who told you that?" And they were like, "Oh, another comedian." And I was like, "Yeah, big surprise.
Right.
Big surprise."
We have a new guest here in the
Hi, how are you?
studio.
That was
Hi.
so rude of me.
No, not at all. It's
How
fine.
are you? What's your
Great,
name?
Rachel.
Rachel, did you have any guess about what celebrity my friend walked his dog?
What were the
that was
clues
a clue.
again?
I said his. That's a clue.
Well, you said beard, so.
No, that was a
No,
joke.
that was me.
That was
Oh,
a
wait.
bit.
Well, I missed
Big
it.
beardy.
What were the clues
Oh,
again?
so we have heard it's not Seinfeld, Woody Allen, or Louis.
Not bearded.
And now you know it's a male.
And
Someone
not-
who has a house
that
in
could
New
be
York.
Anyone.
Could.
Can I have another clue?
Is it Jon Stewart?
It's not Jon
Ooh,
Stewart.
what the heck
Good
is he
guess.
up to?
Good guess.
He has a beard.
Beard? I never said beard.
I know,
this
I
is
know,
the
I
thing
know,
that's
I
been
know.
put in.
But does he have a
You're
beard?
not
thinking
arguing
Chandler's
that's
thinking
him.
hard. No guesses. No guesses, Rachel.
I don't know. I'll think of
A
it. I'm
clue.
gonna think
Let's
of
say
it.
that this person is associated with a comedic New York institution.
Okay. So, SNL?
Could be. I'm gonna go ahead and
I
say
have
yes.
a
I'll say
sidebar
yes.
question since we brought it up. SNL.
yeah.
I wanted to propose a question. What genre of music would you call the theme music of Saturday Night Live?
Crap.
I mean,
Is it? I was trying to put some words together. It's really hard. What genre of
Got a
music?
little bit of elevator jazz.
it has some elevator. I like that
Uptown
other
funk.
Uptown Funk. I like that
Uptown
other
funk
people
with
are
a gospel
here.
twist. 'Cause there is gospel modulations
Yeah.
in some of the.
Yeah. Faux soul. Faux soul.
That's a good one.
That was my pet peeve with that show. I always talk about this, that like that music creates this false border of like
Yeah.
comedy hasn't started yet. We're just
Yeah.
we're cool.
We're setting the bar.
setting the mood. Yeah, but it's not. It's so not funny.
Yeah.
So sincere.
Yeah. But like,
Now the show can begin.
And they never really
but
updated it.
it feels like it's trying to be fun in a way.
That isn't fun anymore.
Yeah. Like your
It's really out of
your
touch.
aunt and your mom having
It's
fun.
really out of touch.
I know. I don't want to. I have many friends who I love who work there who I have immense
Absolutely.
respect for. I don't want to
Yes.
throw them under the bus
No,
too
I mean,
hard.
listen.
But the opening music, yes. Is,
Is it kosher for me to take a piss break?
I can
and just
hold,
handle this. It'll be like
if
a
you want
minute
me to
'cause
be
I
the
peed.
captain of the ship because I can get to know
Just
Rachel.
do the
Yes,
shit.
Please.
Rachel. So what's your deal?
Let's see. Well, I don't know where to start. I'm from Michigan. That's part of my deal. I'm from Detroit, but
Oh, wow.
I live near Ann Arbor.
I mean this in a not offensive way. In Detroit, can you just like live in a house that
No.
you buy for? No.
Wait, sorry. Finish.
Are you homeless?
Oh wait, no. What was your question?
I was gonna say it seems
I'm
like
not homeless.
I hear that you can get like a house for very
Oh,
cheap
for
there and
sure,
live
yeah.
on the
You
cheap
ca-
and just
you
be an artist.
Can actually buy houses there for like $5,000.
$5,000. I could own a house.
You could own, yeah. You
In
really-
a good neighborhood. Can you tell me what
No,
neighborhoods to invest
no.
in? Which are the neighborhoods?
The
what
only-
neighborhood should I be investing in as a scumbag?
Corktown.
If I could buy cheap in Corktown right now.
Yeah.
And in
not
15
$5,000 in Corktown, but
in
real
15
cheap.
years.
50
In
for
15
sure.
years though, Corktown.
Yeah.
Good investment.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody, Corktown.
But I would never buy a house there because it's super unsafe. I've been shot
Corktown
at
is-
twice.
You've been
so-
shot at twice.
under the age of 15.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. My friend Ryan making his appearance, breaking
Chris.
it. How are you, Ryan? Tim, who is currently in the bathroom. I really like how this podcast is
I'm
going.
afraid he's going to want his seat back.
He will, and you should
Yeah.
give him his seat back. That should not even be an issue.
Yeah.
But he brought up how am I regarded in the comedy? Am I a part of the comedy community? And my honest answer is I don't know.
Well, you
But I
didn't-
feel like you are someone who knows.
Whew, sorry about that.
I was asking Ryan. Ryan's a comedian, a friend of mine who I know, and you had asked me, am I a part of the comedy community? And I felt like he would know better than I would.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of
My
people
interest
hate
in that
me.
kind of waned after I pissed.
I get
but-
that.
No, go ahead.
I feel
Is
like
he?
I feel like I might be disliked, but I don't know.
I don't believe so at all.
Oh, that's good.
No.
There
I
could
think
be-
I'm
you-
paranoid. I'm
you
a
said you had
paranoid
people
person.
that would kill for you, so I mean.
But those are public access fans,
There
not
might
other
be some
comedians.
So they
there
would
might be
kill
some
for
level
anyone.
of jealousy because you're doing your own thing. You're in your own universe. You've got it all. You've got your own fan base. What are you ultimately? What's your message to your fans? Like, what do you hoping to impart in them?
I guess my ultimate message for my fans is that
Be
they
yourself?
should. Well, it would be more lie and wait, and I'll tell you who to kill and when. I'll tell you who to kill
Lie
and when,
and
but
wait.
just wait until I give the signal on who to kill and when.
Let me pose from what like I said, I've seen your show. I'm not like I've seen everything, but it seems like there's a sense of encouraging people to be themselves
Yeah.
and self. Not self love. Is that something you'd say?
So I think that
for
refers more directly to masturbation. Yeah. But just the idea of there's a lot of people that feel like complete losers, and
Yeah, there's-
everybody's trying to. I think everybody tells them to kind of either pipe down or change, figure out how to not be that.
Right.
And I think I'm more of the philosophy of it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Just be
being
that.
is being a quote unquote freak much more even in the past few years, it's become very acceptable and normal in the world in America.
I think there's been an uptick. I think that there's lifestyles that used to be regarded as freakish that now people are outright fighting for, which I
Right.
think is a really beautiful
Does
thing.
that dilute your show?
Wow. Does positive
question.
social
Yeah.
change make me irrelevant?
Yes.
Wow.
It's sort of
Good
like,
question.
well,
I'm gonna think very
you've gotta-
hard about
You've got to
that.
find more outside the box types
true.
to embrace.
Well, I think I'll just keep doing. I'll just keep trying
I'm
to
just
do
giving
me.
you a hard time. You
No,
know
but
that.
it's you have to think. Also, when you were gone, just so you know, we found out Rachel is an artist from Detroit.
Yes, I've met Rachel before. She's
writer.
come to a few of my shows.
And she's been shot at. Did you know she's been shot at twice?
Well, she lives in Detroit. Is that right?
I did live in Detroit. That's part
that
of the
should be
reason I don't
expected.
live there anymore.
Corktown.
Everybody that lives in Detroit's been shot at.
Invest in
Yep.
Corktown. Corktown's where the property's gonna go.
Oh, Corktown.
Yeah, that's where you buy up the properties.
Quirk.
Corktown.
We should start a town called Quirktown.
Corktown.
Yeah, for the
Where we
quirky-
all live. Yeah.
I'm the word pun guy. Should we get a
Comedy
couple more
world?
folks in here?
I would
before
love
we
that.
Wrap this up?
I don't understand why all those people. I don't understand why
Thank you,
anyone is
folks.
still
It's
out
really
there.
time to-
weird.
I
it's
don't
time
understand
to-
why anyone's content sitting out there when you could all be in here right now.
God, oh my
Wow.
God, that's huge.
I want the people
I'm-
to feel liberated. They can't tell you to sit in those wooden seats
All right, come
unless
on
you
in.
think
Let's
they're
swap out the
comfortable.
chairs. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you so much,
Pleasure
Rachel.
to
Good
have
seeing
here.
you.
I think
I'll
we
see
should
ya.
have some kind of radio talk show.
I would love it.
I've been
I'm
doing
having
it
fun.
online.
Are you having fun?
Yes, I've been doing this online last week where I do using Facebook Live.
Yeah,
and
Facebook
Skype.
Live's great. Yeah.
I just do them. I just do
Yeah.
a talk show for an hour. I talk to fans.
take calls and
take
stuff.
calls.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh my God, they're all
I
here.
love it.
Now we're
Okay,
really
so
making the
everybody's
Chris
here.
Gethard show.
Okay, hi everyone. Can we all just say our names one by one?
I'm Derek.
Derek.
Ben.
Kevin.
Will.
Dom. I'm Nick.
And let's get a nice 5-part harmony. Ready? On God only knows from one. King of the Zombies. We got a
the
shirt.
King
we
of the
got
Zombies
Are you a
shirt.
horror freak?
Actually, my ex-girlfriend's dad made film shirts, and
Okay.
Oh. And
so
this
I
is
got
Ben.
one.
You were Ben,
Yeah.
correct? Yes, Ben. Yes.
So I got one. But
Oh, that's great.
I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a handsome guy.
Oh, for anybody who's just
Like,
listening, this is a striking
I'm
and
like-
intimidatingly handsome man.
Yeah, I'm like lost
Yeah.
in his eyes right now.
And stylish. You can't see his sneakers, but they're beat up in a really perfect
Oh,
way.
really? And he's fit too.
Yeah,
he's like
fit.
muscular.
I noticed it.
see veins.
I noticed it.
But
Very-
he's got glasses, so he's obviously a
s-
little intellectual.
Stylish glasses,
Stylish
though.
glasses.
See-through glasses, clear glasses.
It's making the rest of you guys look like dog dirt. Sorry. You I could deal with.
Yeah.
Well, the earrings got to go.
Oh no, they're new.
Oh, why does anyone get earrings? See, that's a new earring. That wasn't something you got in like sophomore year in high school.
I hadn't got paid in a long time, and I wanted to celebrate, so I got my ears pierced.
You're celebrating not getting paid?
No,
now?
I got paid. I
Okay.
hadn't been paid for a long time. I got like
How much does it cost a guy to get his ears pierced these days?
like 30, 40 bucks.
What'd you
Yeah.
get paid? What was the big job?
piercings.
I was working on an underwear, a Chinese underwear commercial.
Were you modeling? Were you modeling it?
No. It was a cartoon commercial.
Ah.
It was for underwear that separates your penis from your balls.
Ooh, I could see that being useful. No,
And
we're being
you-
told that will be edited out. Let me try to restate that in language that might be appropriate. He said that his we're on sitcom rules here. Although we violated them
Can't say the
liberally
P
thus
word?
far. You worked on an ad for underwear that separated different, distinct portions of male genitalia.
Oh, that's very well done.
Thank you so much. We're hearing 5 minutes left.
We're running down the clock here. We're running out the clock.
Yeah.
So, how do we watch your show?
YouTube, the Chris Gethard Show. They're all on YouTube.
They're all backed up.
Yeah, we put them all up there.
And there's 2 more episodes coming.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
How about you? Your album. Everyone should be downloading your album already if they're listening to
Legally,
this.
please. Don't
Legally.
be going on to Pirate Bay.
Don't take money out of this good man's pocket.
Some kind souls paid to make it. I paid my musicians.
Uh-huh.
All right?
Yeah.
Things were built.
Yeah. Spaces were rented.
Spaces were rented. It's not going in my pockets, believe me.
Yeah. Are you putting out videos and whatnot as
We
well?
have a couple videos out.
Yeah.
You can check that out.
Yeah.
I don't know what good that does.
You've diversified.
Oh well, we've got Check It Out coming back on Adult Swim in June, and my series Decker is coming back. I think a lot of nods here. Excited about that. And Decker on TV. Did you ever think that happened?
yes.
Good answer. Good answer.
I'm very excited about it. It's been a very productive year.
That's
for
great.
me, and
Congrats.
I'm proud of myself.
Good.
You should be. What do you guys
Zach, plugs.
Is
Zach,
On Cinema coming back?
think? On Cinema will of course come back. Yeah.
Zach, plugs.
Yeah, I have a new gaming YouTube channel.
Great.
Hustler.
Look
Hustle.
up Gunslinger Gaming.
Uh-huh.
What do you do?
Gunslinger
Talk
Gaming.
about games?
No, I play them.
and we watch you play
And you
games,
watch me
I'm
play
going to
games.
kill myself.
How come everyone who shows up for an event with you and I is someone who
I
is
think we
making
attract a certain type of people that are in the aspire to be in the field or
making a thing? In
or creative.
I think we're people who have put things into the world against
the odds,
the safe money.
Yes,
I wouldn't have bet on me.
Right,
not by a long shot.
No.
Well, I'll say too, I'm more of a Chris Gethard guy.
Yes,
Tim, I love
beautiful.
You too.
Thank you.
But Chris, your speech on the Hundo episode of
Thank
Public
you.
Access is incredibly inspiring.
Thanks,
So,
man.
wow,
Thanks
I
for
gotta
that.
Glad you
that
dug
out.
it. Thanks.
Well, I'm about to give a very inspiring speech right now.
I would love that. Everyone, please take a step
the
back.
floor.
Take a step back, everyone.
We are all on this planet together. Okay? And we must work together to be one united population of people that love each other and respect each other's dreams. Thank you. And if we do not do that,
Yeah.
then we risk losing it all.
It's getting dark. It's getting very dark. It's getting
The
very dark.
darkness is coming.
Oh no.
No, that's a darkness is coming.
This is Nick Dawson from Talkhouse Film, and you've been listening to Chris Gethard and Tim Heidecker, and, a bunch of other people, on the Talkhouse Film podcast. This episode was engineered and edited by Talkhouse podcast producer Elliot Einhorn. Thank you to Giant Step for coordination. For more filmmakers talking film and TV, visit thetalkhouse.com/film. Subscribe to Talkhouse Film and Talkhouse Music Podcast on iTunes, where you can find all our previous episodes. And while you're there, please rate and review if you can.